Hi everyone, it's Kate House here, and today we'll be reviewing two books featuring a children's series called Escargot. If you're new here, hi, welcome. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. We love to have everyone here. So before I get into the depth of these books, there will be spoilers and there will be a lot of content discussed. So if spoilers are not your thing, remember to exit out the video at this time because spoilers will be here. So the books I will be reviewing, as I mentioned, are about a little snail named Escargot. I find these geared to fourth graders, and I say that because the language is difficult. Upheaval, gallivanting, there's a lot of adult humor in them, so take that into consideration, parents. I read these books. I did not have the chance to read them to my cousin because we ran out of time, and so there are a lot of things I don't like about these books, but it's just an honest opinion. So there's a whole series. It's called Escargot, a book for Escargot, Love Escargot, and there's a spring one that I'm aware of that my library has. I don't remember what it's called, and I don't know if there's a fifth one. I don't think there is, but if there is, please correct me in the comments kindly. So, a book for Escargot is about a book for Escargot to find. He is upset that there's no book for him. Like, in this, like, he's upset that the snail is not the hero in any of the books he's trying to pick. So, he thinks he finds a book for himself called French Cooking. And if you know anything about the French, they like their snails. So, speaking of French, there is French in these books. No, we're not talking un, deux, trois. We're talking about they translate a lot of French in this book, which I guess is great for those bilingual households, teaching you what a little cabbage means, and all those things. However, we're talking about a child who picks this off a school library shelf to read for themselves in an independent study, and that's what I'm basing it off of. It would be difficult for them to comprehend this book without 20 questions. So, based on that, the reading level and the bilingualness of it is already knocking down points on it in the series. I don't think it's bad to be bilingual. I just think in a setting where most children don't speak French on a regular basis, unless you're in Canada. Sorry, don't mean to throw shade. However, most American children do not speak French. Some of our more top languages are going to be Spanish and English. So, with that aside, no, do I recommend these books for an elementary school setting? No. I would recommend these books as a parent to read them to their children. Proofread to see if it's to your liking. Because when I was reading Love Escargot, I really don't proofread books. So thankfully I never had the chance to read it to my cousin. I typically pick off the library shelf because I trust my librarians. But this one, I do not recommend Love Escargot. There are ways to do Valentine's Day without it being weird, cringy, and things of that nature. I find it a little more romanticizing than I'd like to admit. I find it very out there, and I believe that there are correct ways to do Valentine's Day. What I mean by that is we can have a snail go to a Valentine's Day themed party and be with his friends. That is what that book does not depict, without jumping over 3 romance hoops. Romance books should be intended. There are levels of romance. There's PG, moderate, spicy, and extra spicy. In this elementary school setting and middle school setting, it should be PG romance. And what is PG romance? Nothing is implied between two people. It might be described, but it's inferenced. And then we work our way up the chain for extra spicy being everything in the kitchen sink. So, with that aside, there are ways to describe love to children without being crazy. And that's what I do not like about these books, is that they're a little off the rails. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but if we have to give these books a rating out of 5 stars, a book for Escargot gets 3.5 stars. I like it. It's funny. Because nothing is funnier than a snail reading about himself that they're going to cook him. But Love Escargot is not recommended by Kate House. And do I think the illustrations are cute? Yes. But that does not weigh over content and reading level. If we're going to go for a more friendly book for children, Magic Tree House, and there are plenty of a series, and ask your librarians in schools because they have much better recommendations than I do, because I said Magic Tree House. Not a bad series though. History related, beautiful. I don't even know if it's historically inaccurate or accurate. I hope it is to a basic textbook level. I was a history major in college, so historically inaccurate bothers me. Speaking of history, I have a whole shelf behind me of who was, what was, where is. Those I also recommend for 4th graders. But the way this book is structured, it's a picture book meant to appear for a kindergartner or 1st grader, which is not the intent of that book. So, without further ado, those will be my ratings. 3.5 for a book for Escargot, and 1 star out of 5 for Love Escargot. And I just moved my whole desk. Anywho, that is all today, friends. Happy reading. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much. Kate House out.